Hello, my name is Laura Fuentes from Madrid, Spain, and I just want to say a few words about my experience of working with Cristina. I met her as her teacher at university, and also I worked with her as her supervisor during her final project at the university. Working with Cristina gave me the opportunity not only to meet an incredible woman, but also to learn about many aspects related to self-improvement and excellence. So for me, it has been an honor to share the time with her.
Grado en turismo.
Hola, soy María Jesús Abad y fui profesora de Cristina. Hace un tiempo, antes de conocer a Cristina, al consultar sobre los estudiantes que tendría ese curso en la asignatura Análisis de la forma, el color y la luz, en la que impartía esta asignatura en la carrera de Bellas Artes de la Universidad de Juan Carlos, me indicaba que tenía una estudiante con graves problemas de visión. Tuve curiosidad y me pregunté, ¿qué motivación podría tener un estudiante para cursar unos estudios principalmente basados en la visión? Lo segundo fue el reto. Pensé que cómo podría ayudar a comprender los conocimientos esenciales de esta materia a una persona con estas características. Lo tercero fue la conquista. Recordé haber leído que la humanidad progresa por los límites y que son los individuos y no las sociedades los encargados de romper fronteras, tratando de alcanzar metas que a veces no parecen posibles. La cuarta fue sentar bases, conocernos, conocer a Cristina, saber que se trata de una persona con una personalidad inasequible al desaliento, positiva, fuerte, valiente, alegre, que no pone límites. Y ya empezamos a idear formas de comunicación alternativas con las que acceder al conocimiento. Desarrollamos códigos, a veces complicados para el estudio de esta asignatura. Dedicamos tiempo y esfuerzo. Sentamos bases. La quinta fase fue abrir la puerta, porque quizá Cristina es la única persona capaz de extraer ideas, conclusiones, para construir una comunicación no visual partiendo de lo visual, para comprender o estudiar bellas artes con graves problemas de visión. Reflexionar de cuáles son las ideas básicas y cómo comunicarlas para empezar una línea con la que generar conocimiento. Abrir puertas. Entrar en contacto con esta luchadora excepcional, con estas cualidades para la reflexión y la investigación, ha sido para mí una lección de vida. Así que se lo agradezco muchísimo. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Cris de Diego. I'm a Spanish blind person who likes learning interesting things. I have 2 university degrees. My average note record is outstanding. What I like most is painting artworks and making its audio description to upload them on my accessible website, CrisDiego.es. Feel free to contact me. Thanks so much.
Hi, good evening from Spain, Madrid. My name is Cris de Diego. I'm a Spanish blind person who likes learning interesting things. I like traveling, visiting museums, and what I like most is expressing my feelings by painting with my fingers, my own artworks, and making its audio description to upload them on my accessible website to people with or without vision enjoying them. I like to tell you a real story. Its title is Cris Can Do Many Things. Cris is me and I can do many things. It has been illustrated by my own artworks, so you can have a look at them while listening to the story. I was born without any kind of disability or disease. When I was 11 years old, I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. At that time, my vision was like that of a tiger. When I was 21, out of the blue, my vision changed. I started seeing everything in red. My parents took me to the doctor. The doctor told us that I had a serious illness, which takes away your sight, and at that time was incurable. I had to face my new reality. I have to go to the doctor's theater, and I had to stop doing things I like it, and I had to stop studying my law degree. My parents brought me to the Spanish Organization for the Blind. They taught me how to walk with a white cane, how to study with magnifiers first, and recording devices then, and how to take the train and the metro without vision, because I couldn't drive anymore. I made a big effort, but it was worth it. I made it because I was, and I am, surrounded by good people and professionals. Thanks to all of them. I resumed my law studies. I finished my law degree, and I worked as a lawyer. In the meantime, I won several scholarships to study foreign languages abroad. I studied Italian in Italy by hearing, and English in Ireland by hearing too. I'm sorry, because maybe my English level should be higher. I hope you can understand me. While working as a lawyer, I have to go back to the doctor's theater on several times. I stopped working as a lawyer, and I decided to do what I like it. And what I like it was study the tourism industry. I received the extraordinary award at the end of my tourism degree for the best student. While doing my tourism internships, I realized there weren't accessible resources and accessible paintings to blind visitors at the museums. So I decided to train in inclusive tourism and fine arts. In 2017, I started my studies in a double major in fine arts and tourism. In the same year, I was chosen by the European Union to collaborate with some European museums and help them to make some of their paintings accessible to blind visitors. The experience lasts 2 years. Also, in 2017, I started painting thanks to my drawing professor, Ruth Martinez. She gave me the tools I needed to start painting by using my fingers and clay on a white cardboard. Then I was adding other materials, such as oil brush strokes, to paint my artwork's backgrounds. I was asked to do my own painting exhibition, and I said, yes, I can do it. My exhibition Drawing in Blindness took place in Madrid in 2019. Unfortunately, 3 months before my drawing exhibition, I had to go back again to the doctor's theater. Today, thanks to Dr. Andrea Olenik-Mehmet, I can perceive some lights and some shapes, just like the protagonist of an American movie titled Blind, with Demi Moore and Alec Baldwin, in which Bill, the protagonist, is a blind person who still can see some lights and shapes. I agree with the movie, and I consider that blindness is only a feature of my personality. From my experience about blindness and accessible painting, I draw these conclusions. First, a blind person can perceive and create a bidimensional work of art by using their touch, their hearing, their smell, and, if they have it, their remaining vision. Second, a blind person can perceive the aesthetics of a painting and to create their mental image of it by using this minimal means of support, to touch its reproduction on a tactile relief, to follow an ordered scan, and to listen to its audio description. So, while preparing my exhibition Drawing in Blindness, I made my own tactile reliefs of some of my artworks to visitors with or without vision can perceive the aesthetics of my works of art by using this minimal means of support. 5% of the visitors were visually impaired people, and 95% of them were not visually impaired people, but half of them wanted to perceive the aesthetics of my work of art by using this minimal means of support. That means by using its reproduction on a tactile relief, to follow an ordered scan, and to listen to its audio description. Now, I like to share with you these short videos. The first one is a Mark testimony. She was a master's student who contacted me on my website while she was doing her master's dissertation about audio description and art. The second one is the testimony. She was my English teacher and she visited my exhibition Drawing in Blindness. The third one is María Jesús Abad testimony. The same video you heard at the beginning of this talk. She was one of my fine art professors. And the last video is my free collaboration for the Spanish Organization for the Blind in the Gala Authentics. Please enjoy them.
Hello, everybody. My name is Aymara Gregorio, and I'm an English graduate from Spain. I also have a master's on translation and interpreting, and I met Cristina while doing the research for this master's dissertation, which I wanted to make on accessibility and specifically on visual description of work of art. And this is why Cristina's work gave me a very interesting approach to work with, because not only she's a visually impaired person, but she's also a visually impaired artist, and she audio describes her own work. So she was a great help for my investigation, and she was very kind throughout the whole process, and I'm very thankful to her. So thank you, Cristina, for having me once again. And thank you all for listening and having me. I hope you find her work as interesting as I do and enjoy the talk. Thank you and goodbye.
Hi, my name is Dee. I am a primary school teacher here in Madrid. I had the pleasure of attending Cristina de Diego's exhibition Drawing in Blindness back in 2019. It was such an honor to be able to enjoy her artwork, to see the different techniques that she uses, to notice that each painting is in fact extremely unique, and also to get a feeling for how she goes through the process in order to create her art. I found it mind-blowing. In fact, I have one of my very own at home, made by Cristina. Thank you.
Hola, soy María Jesús Abad y fui profesora de Cristina. Hace un tiempo, antes de conocer a Cristina, al consultar sobre los estudiantes que tendría ese curso en la asignatura Análisis de la forma, el color y la luz, en la que impartía esta asignatura en la carrera de Bellas Artes de la Universidad de Juan Carlos, me indicaba que tenía una estudiante con graves problemas de visión. Tuve curiosidad y me pregunté, ¿qué motivación podría tener un estudiante para cursar unos estudios principalmente basados en la visión? Lo segundo fue el reto. Pensé que cómo podría ayudar a comprender los conocimientos esenciales de esta materia a una persona con estas características. Lo tercero fue la conquista. Recordé haber leído que la humanidad progresa por los límites y que son los individuos y no las sociedades los encargados de romper fronteras, tratando de alcanzar metas que a veces no parecen posibles. La cuarta fue sentar bases, conocernos, conocer a Cristina, saber que se trata de una persona con una personalidad inasequible al desaliento, positiva, fuerte, valiente, alegre, que no pone límites. Y ya empezamos a idear formas de comunicación alternativas con las que acceder al conocimiento. Desarrollamos códigos, a veces complicados para el estudio de esta asignatura. Dedicamos tiempo y esfuerzo. Sentamos bases. La quinta fase fue abrir la puerta, porque quizá Cristina es la única persona capaz de extraer ideas, conclusiones, para construir una comunicación no visual partiendo de lo visual, para comprender o estudiar bellas artes con graves problemas de visión. Reflexionar de cuáles son las ideas básicas y cómo comunicarlas para empezar una línea con la que generar conocimiento. Entrar en contacto con esta luchadora excepcional, con estas cualidades para la reflexión y la investigación, ha sido para mí una lección de vida. Así que se lo agradezco muchísimo. Thank you very much.
Estoy deseando que nos vayamos. Un paseo por el Sena, una botella de vino en las escaleras del Sacré-Cœur, la Torre Eiffel.
Claro, si es un amasijo de hierros. ¿Cómo vas a comparar esto con, yo qué sé, la Catedral de Sevilla?
Tú sí que tienes un amasijo de hierros en la cabeza.
Yo quiero ir al Louvre.
La Mona Lisa. Eso sí que es arte.
Pero si es un cromo, chiquitito, si es una porquería la Mona Lisa.
¿Sabes lo maravilloso de la torre? Que de cerca es un conjunto caótico de hierros, pero de lejos tiene una simetría perfectamente organizada. Es posible estudiar el doble grado en Turismo y en Bellas Artes. Y si os parece, vamos a buscar la Mona Lisa y nos echamos una foto. Que en París no nos van a dejar ni acercarnos.
Me gusta y no los japoneses, aquello.
Pues hasta así, dame el bastón que lo vas a romper. Esto, repite conmigo, no es un juguete, no lo es.
No es un juguete.
Before moving on your questions, I hope I can answer all of them. I already know English is not my mother tongue. I like to dedicate this presentation in memory of the victims of the September 11 attacks. And to thank to all of you for your kind attention. Especially to Casey Hollanders for inviting me to take part of Access Art Show at New York University, and to High-End Events for make this free presentation for me and to make possible my live streaming. Thanks so much.
Hola, Cris. Gracias. This
Hi,
is
Casey.
I'm here.
I know because your voice is Casey voice.
In Nueva York. This was recorded and will be on our website for all of September and will be available to anyone and everyone who wants to listen to you speak. I will be promoting this as well for the rest of September. Questions?
Thanks so much.
Yes. Do you guys have questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
Hi,
come
Cris.
forward.
This is Andrew. I'm on tech. for this. It's incredible to meet you. I just had a question. So actually, my mom is half blind, and my grandma's blind as well. And I wanted to know if was it you losing your vision that became your motivation to become so passionate about your work, or was it something you've always wanted to do, but that felt like the biggest motivation to do it?
Well, I always like to travel and to visit museums. Mm-hmm. But when I was becoming a blind person in my early 20s, I realized that there weren't accessible paintings to blind visitors. So in that moment, maybe my passion for painting started, but for trying to perceive the things I could perceive before by my sight, by using other senses.
Thank you very much. That is incredible to
You're
hear.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Thank you. Do you have a question?
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Hi. Hi, my name is Ayla Babbitt. My pronouns are she/her. And I just had a question about, I know...
Please, can you speak slowly, please? Because my English is not as good as it should be. Sorry.
No, sorry, that's totally fine. Sorry again. I just had a question about, I know you mentioned that you traveled a lot during your time, and I was just wondering how that traveling helped to influence your art, and how that other type of inspiration helped to guide you into the art world.
Well, I think while traveling, you get many things. Maybe the most important thing I get was first time I went to Italy to study Italian by hearing. I get Italian as a language and culture. And I got the inspiration to create my first work of art. Indeed, my second. My first work of art was Cris, and the second one was Rome, the inspiration.
Thank you. I think that answers
You're really
our
welcome.
question. I have another question for you, Cris. This is Casey.
Hi, Casey.
I would like to know, in your opinion, what is the most needed change in how we interact and engage with artwork to make it more accessible to people of all different kinds of disabilities? Visual impairment, and we have talked about hearing impairment, and as you know, I have a physical disability. So I'd love to hear your opinion that comes from your experience working in museums for accessibility.
Well, I think first thing is just to practice empathy. If you put on my shoes, on another person with disability shoes, you can understand the specific needs that person have. For instance, I have visited many painting exhibitions, some of them at museums certificate in universal accessibility, where there weren't any accessible painting to visually impaired people. That means if a museum is certificate in universal accessibility because the museum has not barriers, it's okay. But when someone goes to a museum, this person goes for a reason. And maybe the reason is to visit the museum and to perceive some of the resources the museums show. So if the museum doesn't have any single accessible piece, people like me doesn't make sense to visit an accessible museum. The museum can have ramps, it's okay, can have accessible elevators, and can have another tools of accessibility. But the most important is to have accessible resources, reproduction in case of paintings, and the inclusive attitude of the workers. Because I can tell you that once, while visiting a national museum, I asked to the professionals of that museum for audio description. And they gave me an audio guide. You know, an audio guide gives you much information than the level you can read on the wall of the museum, but it's not an audio description. So I understood, oh my God, this person has no idea about what an audio description is. Other day, I was to another national museum. I asked to audio description, and that time, I was such a lucky girl. I had my audio description, but I had a big barrier. The audio description they gave me was inside an accessible device. So I couldn't manage this device. Then I couldn't listen to this audio description. And that's it. So I think, to conclude your question, I think the most important skills in being accessible in culture should be to practice empathy with people with any kind of disability, to know their specific needs, because every disability has different needs. And second, to have a positive attitude and to show the personnel of the museums how to deal with a disabled person. As I said, in my case, my visual disability is only a feature of my personality.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. That was absolutely wonderful. You are truly an inspiration to everyone who gets to hear your story and hear you speak from this especially. I'd like to ask one last question about what you're saying. Yes, about empathy. And you're speaking about positive attitude. And I think that this is something that is really important right now in the world, having empathy for others. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how empathy has played a role in your career and how you have, I mean, your testimonials speak to your positivity. And I was wondering if you could talk about how a positive attitude and how the act of being empathetic can help create your space within the art community. Does that make sense?
Well, I just can say that I was and I am surrounded by good people. And that means my family, my friends, and also professional. I'm where I am today because behind me there is the effort of many people who I don't know if practice empathy with me or just have a big heart. And for me, this is the key. I'm nothing if my professors, my family, my friends don't help me. Indeed, my little knowledge about accessible painting and blindness comes from their effort and a little bit from my own effort.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was
really welcome.
Great. Cris, that was amazing. You really, I have to say it again. I have to say it again because you are an inspiration and you are absolutely amazing.
Thanks so much.
Do you guys have any other questions?
I don't have any other questions, but I just want to say thank you, seriously, because you're showing how art can transgress more than just movement or more than just painting. It's feelings, it's connections between people. It's evolved into all of our senses, and I think it is so easy to just focus on the work we want to make instead of making it accessible to everyone. And I think this is so important that you're talking about this, and we cannot say it enough how important this is and how much we appreciate what you're saying. So thank you for saying this, Cris.
What a wonderful reflection. Thank you.
I just wanted to say what you were saying about community and the idea that you are a product of all the love and support that you have gotten over the years, and that really connected to me as I'm a first year freshman at NYU, and so I feel a community behind me and around me, and I just also want to say thank you so much. Your story is amazing and your artwork is so beautiful.
Well, thanks so much, but my life is not just pink color, as we say in Spanish, you know. Now I have a big barrier because the rector of my university canceled my registration in the double major in tourism and fine arts. Just 14 days later, I wrote to him because I realized there were some mistakes in my marks. And the university, instead of correct these transcription mistakes, sent me a letter. My husband read it for me and told me that my registration was canceled in the double major in tourism and fine arts. And I was studying my second year. And I said, oh my God, this is a joke. And I wrote to the rector, and the university told me I had the right to go to the court. And of course, as I said before, I work as a lawyer and I have to take university to the court. Last June, the Supreme Court of Madrid gave me the reason and said that my registration in the double degree in fine arts and tourism is okay, and the judge's sentence wrote in my favor. Last September 1st, I have written to the rector to fulfill the sentence because now my record is blocked. And I like to continue with my double major studies this year, 2021, 2022. But until today, I don't know if the university is going to fulfill the sentence or I have to go again to the court.
Big sigh over
Then
here.
there are barriers that you can overcome. There are other barriers that, according to my view, a blind person view, doesn't make sense, that you can't overcome. And I have to fight and to fight and to fight, always in my life. What do you think about it?
Yeah, Cris, that really resonates with me about fighting and fighting for resources that should be there, for things that I should not have to fight for. I am the first disabled dancer at Tisch to complete the program. I have to work with the department to create my own curriculum. This is a huge barrier for me. And so there's a disconnect between art that is being made and art that is important and the education and the structures that support it. They are not up to par with the art that we are creating. This is how I feel, is that we as a community of people who appreciate accessible arts and people who need accessible arts, there is such a need for those structures to be reorganized and to be reevaluated for everyone to engage with. And I really have been thinking about this idea of everyone and everyone as literally everyone. There should not be a person who wants to do something within the arts that cannot do it. That should not be a barrier. The arts should be open to everyone because they can be. We can make them accessible. You've proven this. I've proven this. And it's beautiful. And so, thank you. Thank you, guys.
And it's my pleasure. And I like to say that maybe, as Picasso said, blind could be a blind man profession because a painter paints what he feels, not what he sees. Yes. And I always think about it. Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you. I think that is a beautiful note to leave on. Artists do what they feel. That's all there is to it. And that's wonderful. So thank you so much, Cris. We'll give you another round of applause. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This concludes our lecture series. The website is live with tons of things. So please check out our website. Let us know if anything isn't accessible, and we will make it accessible. That is our goal. If we miss something, let us know. We love and appreciate everything you do and who you are, and we thank you for your presence in the global art community because you are a presence and a powerful one. Last class.
Also, I think, as Tina Turner sings in her lyrics, all of you are simply the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Okay. We will end the meeting here.
Have a great day. Good luck with everything. I hope everything works out. And I can't wait to see more of your work. And yeah, just stay safe. Create great art. And know that we will be passing your message on to so many other people.
Gracias.
Thanks so much.
Adiós.
I hope you have also a nice day.
Thank you.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Muchos.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.